Welcome back, everyone, to Pillars of Eternity. You're here with Randall Lefebvre, otherwise known as DraxxKraven. When? Let me zoom out for a hot minute. Yes, there's something going on in Heritage Hill. Yes. But let's deliver the Flame of Mogren. Well, let's unpause the game and then deliver the Flame of Mogren. Oh, Aloth wants to talk.
About my episode in the catacombs. There's something I should have told you earlier.
I'm gonna cross my arms and wait. I meant no harm. I thought I could keep it to myself, that when we resolve the matter of your soul, we would also address my problem.
I also have an awakened soul. But unlike yours, mine is a presence that shares my senses and my skin, making herself manifest at the most unwelcome times.
He closes his eyes and grits his teeth. His lips quiver and twitch with the vestiges of some internal debate. Several seconds later, he opens his eyes again. They're watery and bloodshot.
I'm sorry. I've tried to learn to control Isilmir. I've gotten stronger, but so has she.
Why didn't you say something sooner?
I learned to keep her a secret a very long time ago. Those with awakened souls are shunned, mistrusted. And after your experience with Meowald, I'm certain you can see why. You need to be careful.
Tell me about Isilmir.
Artless, uncouth, a creature of rash impulses and feeble faculties. She wags her impertinent tongue when she should listen. Aye, this one's fit to boil. Hard to get this gaff over anything tisn't to do with books and spell speak.
I have none of her memories. Barath spared me that much. But her coarse manners are intolerable. And his intolerable hill speak suggest a provincial from a very, very long time ago. She tends to surface a hair's breadth from conflict when the fuse has burned down and teeth are on edge. When she shows up, she doesn't stop to gauge a situation, she just acts. Sounds like you could take a few cues from her. Cues or vulgarisms? I've had to live with that hayseed for years. There's nothing to be learned from her. Nothing civilized, anyway. So is this going to be a problem?
Merely an annoyance. Although, Defiance Bay is said to have an entire institution dedicated to the study and cure of soul-related ailments. Since our journeys have already brought us to the city, perhaps we could speak with someone there.
If it's helpful to you, we'll go.
Thank you. This has been a great burden.
Let's get moving. Oh god. I appear to have accidentally activated the console. So, it looks like there's something else that brings us to the sanitarium. Firga.
Hail, traveler.
Present the burning stone. Do you know what this is? A fragment of the Godhammer bomb. The very weapon that Mogren herself helped us to build to defeat Whitewind in the Saints' War. It's weird seeing it right in front of you like that. Before it was just stories. Never really seemed real. So, why don't I feel any differently? What good does this do? Mogren's the goddess of trials, and you sent me to pursue the vision she gave to you. You proved yourself faithless. Was it a test, or just evidence of what Mogren already knew? I think I suspected, but I kept hoping for a different answer. Everyone's trial comes, there's no avoiding it. To avoid it is to fail it. Her weakness shows plain as the relic's glow. She may have worn the robes of Mogren, but she never followed her. Lost in the darkness, this one. Do not forget what it looks like. This is the true burden of faith, not a goddess's challenge, but her absence, her silence. Or the answer that reveals your own hollow conviction. It'll take weeks still to appoint a suitable successor. In the meantime, I'll serve the people as best as I can. Wait here a moment. I'm no longer fit to wield this, but perhaps it can serve you. Besides, I do owe you some thanks for the service you performed. Our reward is Unforgiven. Another flail. Bonus attack speed, burn damage, converts grazes to hits. Jesus Christ, this thing's a fucking beast. It's 9 out of 14 enchanted. Dear God. Oh, right, I had to take my hat off. And my armor. There we go. Gon shares pretty good, but that Unforgiven thing is just downright bestial. Okay, I've got an idea. So before I go to the sanitarium, I'm gonna hook my way back up to the Stronghold. There it is. Shit, what's it called? It expires in 1 day, 16 hours. Oh no, that might not be enough time. Okay, cool. 22 hours. Caed Nua. Yes, that is its name. Ha ha ha! I have not forgotten. So I can kick Kana out of the party and send him to go deal with that. Even though he's not the character I would like to send, he's actually more knowledgeable than
I feel
Aloth.
sorry for whoever has to clean up this place.
Party. Nope. Camp. Scouting. Can I just send him from my party? Okay, there we go. Dismissed.
Safe travels.
A large tin mirror that whispers maddening messages. Like, he's not the most psychically capable, but his lore score is stupidly high. He knows so much. Even if this might be beyond his knowledge, or beyond his ability, it won't be beyond his knowledge. Like, I feel like he would know what to do to fix it and might just not be able to fix it. Which is, you know, better than anyone else that I could send. Because this is a mental thing, not a magic thing. And, yeah, Durance or Sagani would be a bad idea. And Adair, he's not useful for most of those quests. Because Adair is a dum-dum. And that's okay. Two-sided. Head Wardened, Ethelmoir. Necessary precautions are made. A well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man presides over the room, looking down unblinking over the bustle of harried academics pestered by the hopefully desperate. A strong warmth emanates from it that you could sense from across the room. There's a human soul stored beneath the stonework. You feel its attention turned towards you. It's been some time since a watcher graced these halls. I am envious of your natural insights, traveler. I can only imagine how it might have helped my work in life. Now, what is it that you have brought to my sanitarium? You may have a member of the Leaden Key in your midst. I could have done without hearing that today. Many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they've meddled or whether calamity has struck on its own. But a few of their less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. Once again, I am reminded of how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect they would be of some use in verifying one's identity. You are at odds with the Leaden Key as well, I take it. I wouldn't say that. They're up to something and I'm just trying to figure out what. They're always up to something. Of that you may rest assured. If their plots have come to involve you, you have my sympathies. Do you have some idea of who this person might be? I suspect it's a patient. Very well. In that case, I would recommend you speak first with our resident animancers. They have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You'll find them up here or in their offices downstairs. You will report anything suspicious to me immediately. This is my only request. Does anyone here know about awakenings? There is an animancer on the lower floor who came all the way from Revua to study them. Take the stairs down and look for Belisage. How? In the statue, you mean? Well, I was old, and it seemed wrong to me. A lifetime spent in pursuit of discovery, only to lose it all in death. Somewhere, someday, I would wake up in a new body none the wiser, and pursue a different vocation entirely. All that experience wasted. If we are ever to unearth the principles behind our existence, it will be in spite of our condition. Of that, I am quite certain. To live on as part of something I helped build seemed to me a better legacy than what nature had in store. To transfer itself was quite simple as our techniques go, and for that I am grateful. Playing with souls is far easier to accept when they are not your own. I do miss being able to take an active role in the scholarly efforts here. Now and again, one of our animancers will humor me and consult over some problem, but they are a jealous breed and are too often afraid to collaborate. If you are considering it yourself, I can tell you that it isn't for the easily bored. Tell me about the sanitarium. A history lesson. A rare pleasure. Most come in here only concerned with cheating death in one way or another. We are an old institution as the Deerwood goes. This is our 94th year. As with many cities, the growth of Defiance Bay brought with it a host of problems. One of the worst was that those born, shall we say, ill-favored souls came to populate its streets in droves. Thus, the sanitarium. Brackenbury was a natural fit. It was growing, but there was also a lot of money back then. The place owes its survival to the curiosities of the wealthy more than anything, I think. Our founding came at a time of great suspicion in animancy, much like today. So much progress has been lost to the mishaps of a few careless practitioners. But in time it was forgotten, as all things are. Since then, we have been in the forefront of animancy's resurgence. We have played host to many gifted researchers and pushed the boundaries of our knowledge in ways we never thought possible. Some of the first safe transferences were done here, and we have pioneered work in soul purification, lineage analysis, preservation. It's really quite a list, if you'll pardon my pride. Today, well, I can't say it's exactly the same. There's been some push to shut us down. It comes from Deerwood's more excitable denizens, whose minds are more passionate than thoughtful, I'm afraid. People see this, the legacy. They see it involves something they don't understand. So it's natural for them to suspect people whose understanding exceeds theirs. It looks to them like we're hiding something. We have a representative in the palace this very moment defending the entire science of animancy at a hearing before the Duke. Absurd as it sounds. If it does not go well, it could be the end of animancy in Deerwood. I fear Avar may be swayed by all this unrest, irrational though it may be. We shall see. So I feel like... can I just talk to the anonymous animancers? Nope. I feel like the Ingwithans were... Oh, wow. Udmare? Ooh.
Hey.
Oh. A demonstration, I think. A portion of his soul was recovered near his body. We used this stone as a vessel for transfer. Can you hear me, Oswin? The patient's eyes slowly open before a panicked, wild expression washes over him. Unfortunately, the extended dissociation has permanent side effects. We'll be confident that we'll be able to rehabilitate patients like Oswin. I'm not so certain about that, sir, but...
Well met, friend.
I respect what you're doing. Has anything unusual or suspicious been happening around here? Definitely not up here. We can't be scaring off visitors and potential clients, you know. Downstairs is where the more esoteric research is done. I'd check with them. Okay, makes sense.
How do you do?
Do you know anything about awakenings? I'm afraid that's not my area of expertise.
Hey.
God damn it. But yeah, it seems like the Ingwithans were gifted animancers. And if I remember correctly, Audra has a lot to do with the transfer and usage of souls. Copper and Audra. Hey, Bella Sage.
Well met, friend.
A woman paces back and forth, her feet scrunching on soft red carpet. She gestures and mumbles to herself. Ikosi, here I am, looking so hard for answers in my research that I did not see the kith standing in front of me. What can I do? I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. That'd be me. Though the lack of research subjects has made me more of an expert in counting floorboards. I'd like to transfer Animancy's success in buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those whose souls have already awakened. But I need subjects, and most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It's a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. Your luck, I have a volunteer. Gellard, who is it? I don't know about this. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you have to do is stand in that cage. I beg your pardon? I jest. You Adirans are so uptight. I do not even know what the thing is used for. It belongs to the last occupant of this office, I think. Now they upgrade him to a cell. Again, I jest. So I need you to sit here and try to relax. But don't try too hard, then you wouldn't be relaxing. Indeed. You must also wear these. A little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. Now I will examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long chambered tube, knobs, dials, and small toothed wheels rung along the side of the device. It's fitted with Audra lenses cut to different thickness and concavities. By manipulating them, I can find the angles and densities that will allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. Does that mean we'll get to talk to Islamir more? I like that lady. But first, we must find this cunning interloper. You'll answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Don't worry, I'm sure we won't hear any of it. Very well. To begin, tell me something personal, something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. I was just a normal child living in this Sith wood. So talk about your parents. As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the mists of memory. Belisage doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are smoothing his essence, untangling its many threads. Mother's away most of the time, with the Thane's family, but I always know when she's coming home. Father's battles accumulate like storm clouds on the horizon. His fits of temper become swifter and more violent. It still shames him, knowing that her heimneg to another man supports us better than his labors as a steward. That's good. Starting to see something. Keep going. Tell us about the time you awakened. I'm in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little because when she's around, he's usually only angry with her. But he's heard that I have had trouble casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. He's furious that I've failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I'm sweeping the kitchen, the next I'm sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at the flecks of my blood on the tile. His boots, glistening with fresh polish, thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach, and I curl up to shield my vitals, but it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as far as I can, retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against a field of black. Madicho! He's hypnotized himself with this old memory. You've got to bring him out of it. Quickly. I almost have it. Slap Aloth. Everything's fine. He's near safe when I hap upon him. That's it. I'm seeing a shift in his essence. Something's spreading and congealing. Keep talking. He seems to be responding to you. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voices high in ire. That warm molasses feeling that creeps down your gut when crisis is nigh. Bilfetto! We have flares of total distinct essence. I'll try to get the two of them talking. Aloth, ask Ethelmir what she's doing. Ethelmir, tell Aloth why you've awakened. Fie, he's the one needed me, hiding in his own bone bag like a turtle in a shell. I never turned it over to you. Good, yes, very good. I can now see 2 separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened soul fills the space that he leaves empty. Go on. Aloth, what's this about ceding space to Ethelmir? I've given her nothing. She usurps me in my own body. Aye, and I lend him a pair too. You should ask what I did that old man of his. How the last time he laid a hand on us, I break it in 3 places. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. Now I was awakening, but now I'm stuck with you, and damned if I let your ninnying drag us both through the scupper. Very good. I think I've finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Isilmir's essence throughout the exchange. She had a particularly high density index during the most heated portion of their argument, and her essence seems to localize most clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left rib cage. That's right around the spleen, which of course means that she's triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristic melancholy is to blame. That's utter horseshit. It does seem as though she's got one thing right. Yes, never mind my years of training, I suppose you have a better explanation. So Isilmir manifests when Aloth is in danger or under pressure. You're close. Isilmir appearances are related to potential sources of trouble for Aloth. I suppose that could be true. I'll have to check this again against other research. Well, good for you, but what does that mean for me? Frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with a quill and making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. Fine. She did you a favor by dealing with your father, didn't she? She's trying to help you stand up for yourself. You might not like her methods, but you should hear her out. If you had to listen to half as much as I do, you wouldn't say that. Well, I hope this has been useful. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toast of Revua, Fentre Aloth. Aye, advancing the right-wise principles of animancy. Just what you've always wanted. Please, I don't want my personal information published like this. Especially not after the research. No, you get your explanation. She gets her research. That's the deal. I'm now gonna have to explain this one, Scholar Boy. Oh. A night mirror. A series of disturbing murders, yes. With the aid of secretive Orlan's cipher, Kana was able to locate the so-called Night Mirror in a remote part of southwestern Air Glanfoth. Unexpectedly, the Night Mirror was holding several Glanfothans in thrall, all of whom were willing to kill to protect it. In a protracted battle, Kana and the cipher were able to shatter the mirror and break the spell over the remaining thralls. As soon as the dust had settled, some of the cipher's associates arrived, apparently agents of some unknown organization. The Orlan coyly apologized to Kana, but explained that the remnants of the Night Mirror had to be taken away for safekeeping. He was so proud of how things seemed to turn out, that he didn't notice Kana was standing on a piece of the mirror through the entire speech. Naturally, Kana brought it back to Caed Nua as a memento. Foe AoE frightened and sickened for 15 seconds. Ooh, Kana's a bad dude. I like him. He is good friend. Let's rebuild some walls. Alright. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully we'll be able to find our missing man somewhere in these labyrinthine halls.